So now I am going to say something to you now that I haven't said all along. That is the thing that we have looked forward to for so long, or at least many years, 4 or 5 years or maybe longer. The third pull has now been vindicated. And I'm sure you all know what it is. Now, remember, there'll never be an impersonation of that because it can't be. It cannot be. Now, it's inexistent. And I am warned of this, that soon, right at this time now, it's just happened so it could identify its presence among you. See? But it will not be used in a great way until this council begins to tighten up. And when it does, the Pentecostals and so forth can almost impersonate anything can be done. But when that time comes, when the squeeze comes down, then you'll see what you've seen temporarily be manifested in the fullness of its power. Now, I must continue in evangelism. Just as I was commissioned first, I must continue on. Therefore, you've had the Word, and you know what to look for, how to stand. I must continue on in evangelism, and friends of mine, keep still and just keep moving on, for the hour is approaching swiftly, see, that when something is going to be done. Now, you might see some little odd things happen from it. Nothing sinful, I don't mean that. But I mean something odd to what the regular trend. Because where I've reached to now in the ministry, I'm dropping back here, watching that spot and waiting for the time to use it. But it's going to be used. And everyone knows that for as certain as the first was identified, so has the second been identified. And if you'll think real closely, you who are spiritual, as the Bible says, here's to him that has wisdom, the third is properly identified. See? We know where it is. So the third pull is here. It is so sacred that I mustn't say much about it. As he told me in the beginning, said, this, say nothing of it. You remember that years ago? It speaks for itself. See? But I've tried to explain the others, and I made a mistake. This will be the thing that, to my opinion, I don't say the Lord tells me this, this will be the thing that will start the rapture and faith for the going away. See? I must lay quiet for just a little while. Now remember, and who's listening to this tape, you might see such a change in my ministry right away, dropping back. Not going up, dropping back. We're right at the age now, and it can't go any further. We have to wait just a minute until this happens over here to catch up. Then the time comes. But it's thoroughly identified. There's coming a time in this nation to where this nation is going to exercise all the power that the beast had before it, which was pagan Rome, when it became papal Rome. See? That this nation will do that. Revelation 13 plainly explains it. The Lamb come up out of the earth. The other beasts come up out of water, thickness and multitudes of people. This Lamb come up where there was no people. A lamb represents religion, the Lamb of God. And remember, it spoke like a lamb. It was a lamb. And then after a while, it received power and spoke like a dragon. And exercised all the dragon power the dragon had before him. And the dragon is Rome always. So don't you see, Roman denomination, a marked Protestant denomination, image unto the beast, making a power that'll force all Protestants like a union. You'll have to be into this council of churches, or you won't be able to have fellowship or well, it's practically that way now. You can't go to a church and preach unless you have a fellowship card or some identification. And now, on persons like ourselves, we're going to be cut out of all that altogether. That's exactly because they won't be able to do it. It's tightening. And then when that time comes and the press comes to a place to where you're pressed out, then watch what I'm fixing to tell you in a few minutes. Watch the third pull then. And it'll be absolutely to the total loss, but it will be for the bride and the church.